All right. Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and today's Thursday. It's time to cover the Twab. There's a lot of juicy news in this week's Twab. We'll go ahead and start from the top. We've got this week at Bungie, March 31st, and we go over Savathun dying and a little bit of a trailer stuff, and then we get on to the juicy stuff right here. We got Mechs vs. Monsters Evolved, and you get to vote for which armor set you want to come into the game. Last time, Team Dino won. And so now we get to vote for monsters versus mechs. So make sure you register your email, and they will send you an email next week from what they said. Myself, personally, I'm thinking these monsters look amazing. Look at this Titan armor. If you don't like that, there's just something wrong with you. That is probably the sickest armor set I've ever seen. And this hunter has like some crazy cloak that's like a spine like that. This isn't too bad either, though. But monsters for sure the win. Vote monsters, okay? Not telling you how to vote, just vote monsters, all right? And then they go over all of that. And we've got this, keep an eye for community art, the emblem to give out to that. So make sure to tag them, hashtag Team Monsters, Team Mechs, hashtag Destiny2 art. You can win the emblem. And we've got Last Call Unbroken. So what they go over is an entire section where they talk about the comp playlist, where they're going to be retiring the title that goes along with it. So keep that in mind, that Unbroken title. Unbroken Seal is going to be retired after this season. So if you want to get it, go out there and grab it. And they're going to be having some changes to PvP. And they even give a little hint here. We know you're howling for a bit more information, but expecting additional details on that when we get closer to next season. So talking about comp and howling for a bit more information, can't help but feel like they're referencing. I imagine they're referencing the Not Forgotten, which has this perk here called the Magnificent Howl. And perhaps the Not Forgotten returns, gets unsunset, or maybe the Magnificent Howl is a perk that's added into the rotation of hand cannons. Like it could be a randomly rolled perk, or maybe even crafted. We'll see what Bungie has in plan for that. All right, on to the next section. We have a week for rituals. We have the Grandmasters arriving. And if you didn't watch my video before, make sure to watch that one where I go over the best weapons I think are going to use in Grandmasters, especially for tackling champions this season. I made a pretty good in-depth guide on that, so watch that video. And it'll be arriving next week, and like I said, it'll be 1575 power, so if you're not there yet, make sure to grind up there. This is your maximum power, so your gear score can get to 1560, and then you're going to need plus 15 on the artifact. So if you're not plus 15 on the artifact, get bounties, beat bounties, level up, do your seasonal challenges. That will significantly level you up and get you up to 1575 power, so you can do the Grandmasters when they arrive next Tuesday at reset, and then you'll be able to get one of these bad boys, the Palindrome Adept or the Adept Plug 1. Palindrome is a really, really good weapon, especially because it got unstoppable potential this season. Probably something you'll see pretty frequently in Grandmasters challenging activities when you're trying to stop champions. And then we'll move on to the next part of the TWAB, which is easily the most painful part, in my opinion, which is Gambit Labs. I'm not trying to hate on Gambit any more than I already have. I've suggested Bungie just delete this playlist and bring back old raids, or maybe Bungie should revamp this playlist into being like a mini battle royale or something other than Gambit. I know some people hate that because they actually like Gambit. They actually have a little bit of fun in there, and I'm not saying Gambit isn't. There's no fun to be had in Gambit. It's just not a very good playlist, and the community as a whole generally doesn't like Gambit. And they're now introducing Gambit Labs, which is comparable to Trials Labs, where they're experimenting with new strategies. But this time is going to happen very differently. You're going to be invading. When a given team reaches 25 and 75 banked motes, the opposing team will be given one invasion. So if you spawn in and you efficiently clear the ads and bank your first 25 motes, the other team invades instead of you. So this would essentially prevent snowballing, is probably Bungie's perspective of this, because if you run in, efficiently clear those first ads, bank those motes, then you get to invade, and then it continues to snowball in your favor, right? So they're trying to disrupt that, which, I mean, I guess is good or bad. It still just makes it very uncompetitive, which is kind of the big problem with Gambit in the first place. Even if with snowballing and even with giving the first invasion to the first team that banks 25, there's still countless catch-up mechanics and high-value targets that spawn in and such. So Gambit is just a mess. And I would be so surprised if this Gambit Labs adds any sort of success to Gambit at all. I don't think so. There will be like double reputation during these weeks, so there will probably be a slight increase in player base, but I could almost guarantee you we're not going to see the Gambit player base blow up like it did with Trials Labs, and then Bungie was flexing that graph. If you remember that graph back in the day, they flexed the graph of how Trials went from being like 100K people to 750,000 as soon as they did Trials Labs. I doubt we're going to see anything like that because I don't think that this is going to be game-changing or amazing or so much fun when playing Gambit. But let me know if you agree or disagree. Let me know if you'll be playing Gambit Labs. I myself will give it a try, maybe one game, before I stop playing Gambit again. Moving on to the next one, we got Trials Freelance. This is a playlist that a lot of people love. You get to go in solo. You have your own separate playlist. That way you don't have to play against teams. I'm sure a lot of you will enjoy that and jump into that. I'll start on April 8th. So best of luck to you out there going flawless with that. And they'll have double reputation for Trials, I believe, next week. So if you are grinding for Trials next week for those God rolls, like that Messenger, all those Trials weapons that are you can just grab from those reputation rewards, if there are those God rolls, which I'll bring you a PSA, double reputation equals the ability to get that Reeds Forget if it is a good roll next week. We'll see. Then they go over the player support report, all the list of bugs. Then we've got the movie of the week, which is a bunch of TikToks and such. And artist of the week, got some really cool artistry. And that's it. Capture the zones this week in Trials. Exciting times. We shall see. Let me know your thoughts about this week's TWAB. And make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed. Smash the like button. See you in the next one. Later.